Right, there is a bit of a problem with Rishi Sunak's leadership campaign and his team. First things first, this is a perfect example of the old Tory establishment side of the Tory party, the authoritarian side, the wet, the socialist leaning ones, the paternalistic conservatives, taking back their party. That's what they're doing with Rishi Sunak. Now, these people are not free marketeers. These people are not pro low taxes. They're not pro freedom. They're not pro free speech. And they are definitely not pro people. Now, especially when it comes to working class people. Let me show you this old video that we have from Rishi Sunak.
I have friends who are aristocrats. I have friends who are upper class. I have friends who are, working class. But I'm not working class. But
sorry, go back to it.
I have friends who are aristocrats. I have friends who are upper class. I have friends who are, working class. But I'm not working class. But working class. But I'm not working class. But I'm not working class. But
yeah, no working class. I don't have working class friends. No, it's not a good look, is it? I thought we were sick and tired of having the posh, out of touch rich boys being in charge. The David Cameron types, and now we're dealing with this one. Yeah, this is the old boys' school classic. They want their boy back. They want the same group of idiots who are so out of touch with ordinary people out there, with me and you and everybody else, and they're going to try their best to install their man. That's what's going to happen. They're going to plot. They're going to do their best to completely eliminate all the other candidates to make sure he's part of the top two to get to the membership and force the membership basically by manipulating them to vote for him. This is the problem we now have. And also, this is a guy who doesn't know what a woman is.
Rishi Sunak, what is a woman?
Well, I thought the Prime Minister answered this brilliantly in Prime Minister's Question Times, in Prime Minister's Questions this week, and I fully agree with him.
And so what is your definition of a woman?
As I said, I would exactly agree with what the Prime Minister said at Prime Minister's Question Time. I thought he answered the question very well.
An adult human female?
Sorry, Julia, as I said, I thought the Prime Minister answered the question brilliantly.
Oh, dear God. Yep, here we go again.
He answered the question brilliantly, and I would agree with every word that he said.
We're not going to get a proper answer from you, are we? It's a really simple question.
Because I can't remember it. Because I can't remember.
Well, okay. I mean, adult human. Adult human female.
I thought he put it very well, and I think.
Initially, he said, "I'm just going to go with what the Prime Minister's already said." Then he said, "I can't actually remember what he said." What if he said women are, I don't know, rabbits? Are you still going to go with the Prime Minister? It makes no sense why these people are so weak and feeble, as Margaret Thatcher would say. Do you not have your own brain? You could have your own thoughts. You could have your own opinions. You could have your own truth, as Meghan Markle would say. It's embarrassing. This is the state of our politics. Can you really trust this guy to run the country when he doesn't know what half the population are? Literally, half the population are female. He doesn't know who they are, and he's just going to go with the Prime Minister. And that was also sneaky of him, because he's not pro-Prime Minister. He's not pro-Boris Johnson. So he simply was using that as a political tool for his own agenda. This man has come out to say that don't listen to fairy tales, and by fairy tales he means the candidates who are offering low taxes and pro-free market policies and smaller government and pro-free speech platforms and going against net zero agenda. These are fairy tales. This is the same, for those of you who know history, modern history, or maybe were there at the time, exact same thing happened when Maggie became Tory leader. You had people like Harold Macmillan and the same type of Tory establishment weirdos who were having a meltdown for this exact reason, saying these are fairy tales, these ideas are just not realistic, these are not conservative values. The conservative values are authoritarianism and controlling the population and all industries, nationalize everything and high taxes. That was conservatism at the time, Toryism, let's just say. And people like Macmillan were having a meltdown that Maggie was doing that, and they were saying it's never going to work. It did work up to a point where even Blair, he had to stand on the same platform to win his 97 election. He lied to the public. He said, basically, I'm going to have to go with Thatcherism because that is the norm now, the market economy, and protecting the working class and making sure that people at the bottom of society are protected. Yet, no. These people want their party back. They want the control. These are, again, as I always say, these are control freaks who had mummy daddy issues when they were kids and didn't know how to deal with it now that they've grown up and they're in power. Now we're going to come back. We're going to tell you about Penny Mordaunt, and she has clarified about the meaning, the definition of the word woman. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.